Hello. I thought before I go to the Czech Republic or Chechnya or however you say this nowadays, tomorrow to do a factory tour at Furch, I'll tell you about someone we lost recently, Magnus Krempel. You might not be familiar with the name. You might have played something that he built, but for as long as I've been a musician, he's been a staple in the community here. Probably one of the great German luthiers with the worst business sense ever. He was one of those hippie guys in knit sweaters and, Birkenstocks that did smoke the ganja once in a while. But if Magnus knew one thing, it was how to take pieces of wood and not make them very pretty. He wasn't into painting and fancy tops and all that shit, but how to make them sound fantastic. Many German bass companies actually had their instruments ghost built by him because his business sense was shit. But he could build instruments. And so, as far as I know, Kristall, Hotwire, even Jens Ritter, they all came to him to have him build parts or the whole instruments and just slap their name on them. That's at least what I understand. I take no responsibility for misinformation there, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was. And he literally lived in Weinbach, a few kilometers from me. When I was a young guitar player without knowing anything, I asked him to take one of his bass designs called the Theta and turn it into a guitar. And so together we worked on this instrument. Man, the world is small. You'll find out why. So it must have been 94, 95, something like that. And I said, I would like the ergonomics of a Joe Satriani from Ibanez, which is just the most ergonomic, rounded off, beautiful body. And I'm a big Satriani fan, so I asked him to also put the same pickups in it. And then we said, the Wilkinson Bridge and all these things that we wanted for guitar back in the mid-90s, which I'm now still advocating for. This guitar already had. I didn't know, back then I already knew what I wanted from a guitar. And so he built this. And back in the day, I couldn't buy it for reasons. And he said, not a problem. I have people interested in this. And so it disappeared forever from my field of view. And about 2 years ago, I did a podcast interview style thing with Justin Hombach. Now, Justin is a mind-blowing, shred-tastic, fast finger player. Super nice guy. Looks like some old count of who knows what with his weird mustache thing. Justin, what the crap is that? But Justin can play. So he's now an Ibanez artist. And I'm doing this interview with him, and I look behind him on the wall, and I said, Justin, what is this? He's like, oh, you wouldn't know this. I'm like, I fucking beg to differ. So he said, well, this is the guitar that I bought when I was much younger from some guy in a shop who bought it from some guy somewhere. And he said, this is the guitar that made him the player that he is today. It's the guitar that accompanied him on his whole journey as a guitar player. And I almost cried because it's the guitar that I designed with Magnus. It was that guitar. How small is this world? And I feel so honored that Justin found this instrument with a lot of ideas from me in there, and of course the beautiful craftsmanship from Magnus. And it turned him into this ridiculous player, a player that I could never have been. Absolutely amazing. I told Magnus the story. I called him after years, and we talked about this, which is absolutely ridiculous. And Magnus is also, by the way, the mentor for Yoshi Luck, who is now, in his own right, a phenomenal luthier. And, well, I just put new strings on it, and, it's been through some things. But here is the Theta. I think that's what it was called. what a phenomenal instrument. And I dare to say that there's nothing like this on the market today. Nothing. Not that I can see. And we're going to go into why. I had a chat with Valiant Guitars, and they're looking for a modern model in their lineup. And I said, build this. And I talked to Magnus about this before he died. I didn't know that he was on his way out. And he was totally fine with this. He even gave one of the bodies to Yoshi so that we could, look at dimensions and stuff like this. So if Valiant is still interested, or if you're interested in something like this as a modern instrument, please let us know. Because this design is the most ergonomic guitar I've ever played. I mean, okay, the Strandbergs are pretty damn ergonomic. This would work as a 7. This would work as a fan fret. This would work as a headless as well. So this is what we designed, I mean, back in 94, 95. Now you can already tell that the body is very modern, right? Very, very modern. So it would absolutely fit today's aesthetics. And imagine this as a headless, would totally work and not look like anything else on the market. But the shapings are all super smooth. Everything is rounded off. There's nothing sharp at all on this. But look at this. It is a curved body. And yes, you're already seeing it. It is a neck through. Not a lot of neck through guitars. So it is a neck through. It's got a cap on here and on here also. But in, I think, 3 pieces. I think this is a Bubinga body. We can see that the neck is already, right here. Had some dings on it. This has been played, so Justin really played the shit out of this. It's got a wooden cavity cover there. We have a 5-piece neck through design. We have a volute. We have an extremely small headstock, so the tuners are very close together. And they are self-locking locking tuners from Goto. So back in the day, I already kind of insisted on locking tuners. So it is a very, very small headstock, of course, with this weird thing on top that can be adjusted. Or, as I said, headless. But we have a very angled headstock. We have a volute. All the things I criticize guitars should have nowadays, it already had. We have a bone nut. As I already liked back then, nothing in the fretboard, so very, very simple. Now imagine this with like a poplar top or a beautiful flame or something. Valiant could do an amazing job with this. We have the Fred and Air Norton or something, whatever. Fred is one of them. I know that. DiMarzio's in there. Justin had put different knobs on there over the time. Got a 5-position switch. And because he had this on his basses, and I very much like that, there's a locking jack on there. So you plug it in, you can't pull it out until you push this. Everything, all the electronics would need spicing up. I just cleaned it up and put new strings on it. So that all worked, but the electronics would definitely need some help. This has been around for, 30 fucking years. And I can't believe that it was hanging on Justin's wall. So he loaned this to me. It's been here and I'm taking good care of it. But I showed it to the Valiant guys and they were like, yeah, this would be a killer model because nobody has a shape like this. Super smooth, Spectre style, curved body, which perfectly just sits on your contours. Absolutely beautiful transition right here. Just you put this on your body and it feels extremely ergonomic. I mean, it's such a comfortable guitar to play. And it sounds nice. Magnus knew how to put wood together. But as you can see, it's a very simple, just, wooden kind of design. So if you put this together with a carved top of some nicety, give it a high gloss, it could be a very cool modern guitar that nobody else really has. So let us know in the comments if you think this is something that Valiant should tackle. I think it would be a tough build, but this with a Wenge and maple neck through and a kick-ass poplar or flame in, of course, blue, and then still with this carving, put some fishmans in there. You could do this as 7-string with fan fret or none, as headless or none. This body shape will lend itself to all of this and not look weird. So thank you, Justin, for loaning this to me for the video. It's utterly ridiculous. Let's hear some notes from that. It's not great. I had some, electronic issues, but here's just, me noodling on this thing that was lost for so long. What a phenomenal instrument. And I love that if this was made, it would absolutely be something that in this shape, man, imagine it as a, more porn kind of looking guitar, but the market doesn't have. And so if a company is looking for a modern design, as Valiant is, this would be freaking redonkulous. And I have to say, other than maybe that brand new Sully that I got, which is very, very ergonomic, but and of course, Strandbergs, which are the most ergonomic guitar out there, but funky looking. This is ultra ergonomic. It just feels right on your body. And I've recorded many, many, many albums with this thing. Bass tech pickups. This is the Sharky bass that Magnus made. And Kerry Nordstrand played this in California. Nordstrand from Nordstrand Pickups, he's a friend of mine. And based on this, he's like, I'm going to build myself an all maple bass. And then he did, and he built a masterpiece of a bass. And inspired by this, look at this wooden cavity cover. We got a jack right there, recessed. And again, Magnus didn't go for too fancy. Wood is wood and all that, but he did build, and this is a bird's eye maple neck and fretboard, nothing in the fretboard. He built just some of the nicest basses in the world. And I had this on many, many albums. It was one of my main instruments for quite a while. The Sharky from the man himself. And here's another one. There's actually one of my favorite instruments. Oh, it's dusty. We just replaced one of the stringy holders. It was one of the last things that he actually did. He gave one of those Wilkinson stringy holder thingies to Yoshi so Yoshi could put it in here. So Thank you, Magnus, wherever you are. I wanted a fretless, and I knew that this was in possession of my friend Christian Becker. Christian's a great bass player, now a teacher. And back in the day, he was a roofer. And he actually did the roofing on Magnus's shop. So as payment, or at least partial payment, he got this bass, which is just so amazing. It's ridiculous, there are no fret markers on the side. Can you see that? It's just dots, no fret markers here. So when you play this, you're kind of lost. And me as a guitar player, I was never lost with this. I played on, I think, 3 albums. I played the whole album with this, singer-songwriter stuff. I used it on a prog metal album for the ballads. I just always knew where it was. It needs new strings as well. It's a beast of a bass. I mean, look at it. It's humongous. 6-string, 1 Bartolini in there, passive. Magnus always did everything passive. We have the same beautiful recessed jack there. We have a wooden cavity cover. It's an absolute masterpiece. So Christian sold this to me because he wasn't using it anymore. Get ready for this. For €550. I got this 6-string masterpiece Magnus bass for €550. Thank you, Christian, for being a friend and, doing this. And I'm absolutely in love with this. And I will never part with these instruments. I mean, I have to part with the guitar because it's not mine. Wish it was. Yeah, these were built by an absolute gentleman and one of the greats in the business that never really got his own business off the ground because he wasn't a business guy. He was a give me wood and I slap it together to make beautiful music. So many other companies used him to build their own things. And if you see one of his guitars or basses, try to grab them. There will never be more than those because he's gone. And oh my God, I mean, I want to record songs with this thing now. Absolutely amazing. Maybe I'll show you one of the songs. Let's do either Need or Loyalty. I think the second verse of Loyalty is where this comes in. I'll play you something. That'll just be some titles and you can hear that.
Good things that we have, we don't protect them, destroy them instead. What took so many years to grow is now by mankind forced to go.
Lovely instrument. So, thanks for everything you've done to us and for us, Magnus. Thank you, Justin, for reuniting me with this guitar. Comment below whatever you want to comment. I just wanted to share these things with you because they mean a lot to me and those people mean a lot to me. So, thanks for listening. And Animals Happy.
Where we go, we leave behind broken hearts and homes. Now I wonder how